Well, we'll call the cases of Amber Bonham, case numbers 24S00335, 15T11900, 15T13180, and 24W00636. We're here for a pretrial, a pre-hearing conference, and 2 reviews.
All right. Shout out to Alyssa, as usual. She just sent this to me. It's not that long. It's a bit of a quickie, but it's good stuff.
What's for the people?
Matthew Mansour on behalf of Miss Amber Bonham. Amber, can you unmute and state your name for the judge, please?
Amber Louise Bonham.
Thank you. All right, in this particular case, I continued the bench warrant.
Yes.
And she was here on March 27th. Since then, on April 1st, she missed the scheduled test between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. Testing on April 2nd at 4:01 a.m. Which that is 4 hours after. Ma'am, please stop talking. Which is some 4 hours after she was scheduled to test. On April 1st, she missed nope, that's the same day. On April 4th, she was supposed to test at 11:57. She tested at 11:57 when she was supposed to. She had an alcohol BAC of 0.022. Retested on April the 5th at 12:14 and had an alcohol BAC of 0.017. Ma'am, you're being arraigned on a new violation in this case. You have a right to have a hearing on these violations, at which time, if it is shown that you did violate, your bond can be revoked. On April 21st, if she hasn't turned herself in, her bond is going to be forfeited that she posted before. And so that is where we are.
Okay. Your Honor. I hate to waste the court's time, Your Honor. Can we approach, please?
No, I don't know what there is to approach about. She tested positive again for alcohol.
Your Honor, if I might, please.
No, Amber. Do not make it worse than it is.
And Judge,
All
I
right.
think she was supposed to have a new assessment completed at this time as well. I don't know if that's been done.
Yeah, Your Honor. She's been working on that assessment with Matt Statman. The next available time that Matt Statman let Amber know is available is the beginning of May. It's a little backed up, according to
when she called. We've sent people there since March 27th who've had appointments.
I wasn't aware when she called, Your Honor, but she did state she has emailed and called them.
What is it that you want to say to me, Mr. Mansour, in a breakout room that you can't say here?
Your Honor, I was wondering if there's any alternative or anything we can do regarding
no alternative. The alternative is for her to not drink, which she can't stop doing.
Your Honor, even if we could maybe, agree to get her into some sort of program in the meantime to not allow her to turn.
Judge Washington has had enough, and she's absolutely right. She stands strong. I love it.
Was what we just tried to do, and she still hasn't even gotten the assessment done. All right. I'm done setting pre-trials in this case. Apparently, she's not going to turn herself in, and she's not going to stop drinking. Bench warrant will continue, and we're going to have her picked up.
Your Honor, if I could, just one last request. If she would agree to just check into a program within, the next 48 hours even, would you consider, I don't know if she's willing to do it, but if
She's
she
not
is.
complete denial. But if she says she wants to check in 48 hours,
You can blame Melissa. She's right here. This is good. That right there is an implicit admission that my client is drunk the way I read it. An appropriate one. An attorney saying he doesn't admit that, but he's saying, well, I'm telling her to check in now. That's his best shot to save her. He's doing good work.
I'll hear from her about that.
Okay. Can I, Amber, are you willing to do that?
I don't know that I fully understand what that means, Your Honor. If you could please just allow for me to understand what checking in means.
I don't understand the concept of checking in, but give me a break because I'm wasted. Okay. I don't know that. I suspect it, but I don't know it.
Your Honor, if you want, I can talk to her so we don't do this on the record.
Ask this again. Ms. Woods, before they go into the breakout room, is there anything you would like to say?
Judge, I don't know if this really makes any difference. But she also tested positive on 3/16, and I don't think she was violated for that either. I'm just shocked because of how she's come to court saying that she's an honest person and will do everything and anything that the court asked of her. And then after that hearing, she was violated. And then she goes back out and is drinking again. It's just shocking.
I have not been drinking, Your Honor. And and I have been honest every step of the way, and I will not be anything other than. I
mean, this isn't funny. She's got a problem. But it is hilarious.
have admitted to my wrongs. I have admitted to my wrongs, Ms. Woods. I have. That is prior to 3/27. And I have been compliant.
Mm-hmm.
I have, Your Honor. I have.
Mr. Mansour, you should probably talk to your client.
Thank you.
Yeah, without getting into further detail, there were drugs involved that people were giving to me that ended up being glue. Like I smoked some glue and stuff. I thought I was smoking crack. And
The court will call the cases of the State of Michigan versus Amber Bonham, 00335, and all the other cases.
Tiffany Woods for the people.
Matthew Mansour on behalf of Ms. Bonham. Amber, can you unmute and state your name one more time?
Amber Louise Bonham.
Thank you. Mr. Mansour?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you for that opportunity. I have given Ms. Bonham the number to call. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. She sent me a number for the access number to get residential treatment. She has it. Your Honor, I'm hopeful she calls and checks into a program. She was just very, stressed out and frustrated and scared because she has a child at home. She doesn't know what would happen if she does check into a treatment program. I told her to try to line everything up right now with her work and her child and everything. She has the number. If you could please just you know, if you could leave the warrant outstanding, we understand, but please see if you can not, or see if you can refrain from having her picked up like immediately, if possible.
We talked about this last time she was here. I gave her specific options to not have that occur. And we're back here again with what Community Corrections shows as a positive test. Obviously, she's entitled to have a hearing on that when the time comes. The bench warrant will be outstanding, and she should get herself into a place within 72 hours. After that, I'm going to request that the Sheriff's Department pick her up.
Ow. That's a hard no. She's like, yeah, I did all this stuff. She gave me the middle finger. We're picking her up. She's absolutely correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
And there'll be no more court dates set until these matters are resolved.
Your Honor, if I might.
Amber, no, please.
No, Mr. Mansour, I just want to understand what it is that is expected.
I don't know, but she does that speech pattern. I think at any moment we're gonna hear, "I love you, man," and watching her attorney, who's doing fine work, just beg her, please stop. Just please stop. This is not going to get better.
For me, I will go into a placement for some time period. I don't know.
Ma'am, I'm not your attorney. That is for your attorney to explain, and you've had a meeting with him. If you need additional time to talk to him, please call him so he can explain it to you.
I don't know what this means, and I'm just looking to understand.
Ma'am, I'm concerned that you may be actually drinking right now, because I don't know how else to say.
I'm not drinking right now, Your Honor.
Talk to your attorney.
The way she said Your Honor couldn't have sounded more drunk. I know it's bad, but it's hilarious. It is.
The court will call the case of the State of Michigan versus Brandon Baker, 24 FB 1502.
All right. Alyssa's telling me, all right, she's got another good one. I'm going to try it right now. Let me see if we can do this.
Here, Paul Shredman Center. Plan against defendant, Marcus Tell, Love Fuller, 2414674A. And it's just a name file. You call in, we need somebody over there. Beth, so I don't think Beth is in here. Your name? Marcus Tell, Robert Fuller.
McNally Carmen, B73824 on behalf of defendant, Your Honor.
Okay, you handed up your appearance.
I did.
Where'd you put that to?
He left it down here, Judge.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, Mr. Kerman, just give me 1 second. Your client is charged with violation of probation. He has one prior technical violation. And this is essentially 7 more. Fair to refrain from consuming alcohol, fair to submit to sober-link blows at 8 a.m. on March 28th. Fair to appear for weekly testing on March 31. Fair to submit to a sober-link blow on April 3rd at 4 p.m. Fair to refrain from consuming alcohol. Testing positive on a sober-link blow on April 3rd. Fair to submit to a sober-link blow at 8 p.m. on April 4th. Fair to submit to another sober-link blow at 12 p.m. on April 5th. So, Mr. Kerman, how is he going to proceed?
Your Honor, count 1 is going to be not guilty in part and guilty in part. Count 2 is.
Hang on a second. Let me make sure I understand. What All I'm gonna deal with on that, I'm not gonna, these all overrides on the same transaction. These all overrides on the same transaction. Is he pleading guilty to submitting a sobering blow that was positive on March 22nd of 25?
That portion of it is,
Not guilty?
yes, that is for the 8 AM blow.
Okay.
And then the fail to submit, the subsequent ones would be guilty.
Okay. Phone, where's the phone? You gotta remove the phone from the building, sir. No, I want it out of the building. What about count 2?
That's gonna be not guilty, Your Honor.
Why don't we just go? Why don't we just have it resolved?
That's fine.
Your name?
That's what on campus, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear affirmative penalties of perjury that the testimony you will give in these proceedings will be the whole truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, can we just confirm to people not guilty on counts one,
Go.
just through all of it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so taking a look at count 1, failed to refrain from consumption and or possession of alcohol. The defendant submitted to sober blow at 8 AM on March 22nd, 2025, with results of 0.079 BAC. Defendant failed to submit to subsequent blows at 8:15 AM, 8:45 AM, 9:15 AM, 9:45 AM, 10:15 AM, 10:45 AM, and 12 PM. The next blow is at 2:28 PM with 0.0 results for BAC. Count 2 failed to submit to soberling blows at 8 AM on March 28th. He then failed, count 3, failed to submit to weekly chemical testing at DNA at March 31st, 2025 via DNA. Count 4 failed to submit to soberling blows at 4 PM on April 3rd of 2025. Count 5 failed to refrain from consumption or possession of alcohol. The defendant submitted to soberling blows at 5:02 PM on April 3rd with results of 0.072 BAC. Defendant failed to submit to subsequent blows at 5:17 PM, 5:47 PM, 6:17 PM, 6:47 PM, 7:17 PM, and 7:47 PM. Next blow was at 8:07 PM with 0.0 results for BAC. Count 6 failed to submit to soberling blows at 8 PM on April 4th, 2025. Count 7 failed to submit to soberling blows at 12 PM on April 5th, 2025.
Do you have any questions over Mr. Kerman?
I would ask with regard to the 322, the 8 AM on 322. That was a Saturday, I believe. If there was a positive blow, does the soberling prompt him for a reblow at a certain time?
Correct. Anytime there's a positive test on a soberling device, it'll always prompt you for a retest, and it'll continue to prompt you for a retest up to 10 times until either the device is negative, or if it continues testing, it'll time out after 10 times of positive testing.
And how, and at what intervals?
I believe the intervals, if I take a look at the times, are 30-minute intervals.
Okay, so if he had a positive blow at 8 AM, it would have prompted him to retest at 8:30.
Correct.
But here it says, failed to submit to subsequent blows at 8:15, 8:45, and then et cetera in half-hour increments.
Correct. It's generally the half-hour increments on the time for it. Again, we always tell defendants anytime there is a positive test, always submit to the reblows, because if it is an environmental factor, those reblows will be zeros if it was an environmental factor.
Okay, so then 15 minutes, but it looks like in this case, it wasn't prompted after half hours, 15 minutes.
Correct.
Okay, could that be contributed at least in part by environmental factors?
What do you mean by the testing times?
Yeah, for that he was prompted 15 minutes later instead of
I
half
could
hour.
be incorrect about the testing times. The SoberLink device and the SoberTrack have different times on them, so I could be incorrect on the testing times, but it will always re-prompt you up to about 10 times generally.
Okay. So that'd be consistent with him blowing zeros at 2:28.
Correct.
Okay. And then also, with that day was a Saturday, well, I guess I should say that for my explanation, not really a question. Still a question for that.
Does your client wish to testify?
Mark.
You talk to your lawyer.
Yes, I wish to testify.
Raise your right hand and solemnly swear to affirm the penalties of perjury that the testimony you will give in these proceedings be the whole true self you got.
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
All
I
right.
can ask any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, so Mr. Fuller, and again, I'm looking at some of the notes you sent me.
Yes.
So you sent me some feedback and addressed 1 through 7 and I'm looking at that right here, okay? So you said, you didn't drink at all on 3/22,
I did not.
correct? But later that Saturday, you were doing the court to work program
Yes, sir.
as for this case?
Yes.
Okay, so is that why you failed to submit to those subsequent blows?
Yes.
Do you remember about what time you were doing the court work program?
Whole program started, the doors opened at 8:15 and I didn't leave until 1:30.
Okay, and what were you doing, in the work program that day?
I was outside doing yard work.
Okay, so you didn't have your silver link with you?
My solar link was in my coat, but it was hotter that day, so I didn't wear my coat. And I didn't have my phone or my watch.
But when the work program was over, you submitted to a blow about 2:28, does that sound right?
Yes, that's the time that I got back to my house.
Okay, have you consumed any alcohol that day
Oh, I did not.
or the previous night?
No, I did not.
Okay, there's a couple, failed to submit to silver link blows. One was on 3/28, March 28th. One was on, April 3rd. And I believe there was another one on April 3rd that said failed to submit. Were you having any problems with your SoberLink device?
April 3rd, which one was, what day was that?
I don't know offhand.
Well, today's the 17th, so that would have been 2 weeks ago today. From to 2 weeks ago.
And what time was the April 3rd one?
That would have been,
Well, yeah.
yes, April, yes, 4 p.m. And also March 28th, 8 a.m.
Yeah, the April 3rd one, 4 p.m. I submitted the test. I missed the 4 p.m. and I submitted at 5. That one was my fault. I woke up too late. I was rushing to get to work. I woke up around 4:30 and I submitted at 5.
For some of the other ones, for the other, some that it says failed to submit, were you having any problems with the device?
Yes, on some of the other ones, I did have problems with the device. It would freeze up or be non-responsive. And I did talk to the SoberLink place, and she called me about the payment. She said sometimes it does that, and I would just have to wait a few moments and the device would be responsive again.
Okay, so you say the SoberLink place was at house arrest?
Yes.
That's where you got it, right? And you talked to a representative from there?
Yes, she called me about the payment and I spoke to her then about it.
Okay, about the, I guess, recalibrating the device.
Yeah, she didn't tell me, well, yeah, that's what it did, that's what it did, that's what it's called.
Okay, so in instances where that would happen, would you give it some time and then it would work?
Yeah,
Okay. Mr. Fuller, in the dates alleged going back to March 22nd, have you drank any alcohol?
no,
Have you been around any environmental factors that could possibly result in a positive?
no,
You ever drink any NyQuil or mouthwash or any of that?
I haven't drank NyQuil in my mouthwash.
When you're at work, what hours do you work?
I work from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Okay, and has that resulted in you missing any blows?
Yes, sometimes I don't get a break because I'm a team leader and I have to work through my breaks sometimes.
Are you allowed to carry the SoberLink on your person at work?
Yeah, it stays in my pocket with my belongings.
And you said you work Monday through Friday, 6 to 5?
Yes.
Okay, as a team leader. So the questions I have here.
Any other questions of him?
No, you're.
Any other witnesses?
No, sir?
Any argument?
Just that, especially for court work program, they do allow, all defendants to keep their cell phone device on them for court work program. And again, court work program, he was here on March 22nd for court work program and didn't complete his day here. Again, he did test at 8:30. They require everyone to be here at 8:30. So he tested at 8 a.m. When he tested, it was tested positive. The device would have prompted him and said to retest. He still would have had time to retest prior to needing to be inside the courthouse for court work program. And again, the court officers will allow the device on them at all times.
No, Your Honor.
Anything else?
Your Honor, I would just like the court to again know that my client does, I mean, he's got a really good job. He's a team leader at the Dearborn Truck Plant, as you can see on his jacket. He recently took in his sister and her 3 young kids living with him. She's here today, as her support. We're asking to give him, I know it's asking a lot, Your Honor, but to give another crack. He'll be on a very, 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 very short leash, but.
I want to dumb her down the ticket. Like I want to fight that.
Court finds you guilty of all 7 counts. Court finds he was consuming alcohol, which gave rise to the test on March 22nd, 25, with a 2.079, and he failed to submit the subsequent blows. The fact that he's telling me that it was hot and he didn't want it in his coat, he didn't have it, didn't have his coat, and therefore the sober link wasn't with him. That's his fault, not ours, not anybody else's. He also failed to submit to a sober link blow, I find, at 8 a.m. on March 28th. Failed to appear for weekly testing on March 31 with DNA. Failed to submit to a sober link blow at 4 p.m. on April 3. Consumed alcohol, giving rise to the positive test on April 3rd of 25, and then he failed to submit, ironically again, to all subsequent blows. And then he failed to, and I say ironically, I mean, it's just pretty obvious what's going on here. And then he failed to submit to a sober link blow at 8 p.m. on April 4, and again at 12 p.m. on 5/25. Court finds defendant guilty on all counts. I'm more troubled by it. He's sitting there and he's giving me all these excuses and he's testifying under oath. And that's a problem. That's a massive, massive problem. It is. It's a big problem. Yeah, I'm looking at you.
No, I'm saying you won't speak.
No, I don't. I don't think what to incriminate yourself anymore than what you have. You can't just come in here and say I didn't drink. And give me all these excuses as to why you didn't blow. If you want, I'll put you on the alcohol test. You won't have to worry about it. Why don't you give them a price differential? Do you remember?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Right?
I'm sorry.
It's more.
Yes, it is.
Than the other soda.
And it's more per day as well.
Right. You want to do that? You want to do an alcohol tether? Then you don't have to worry about blowing. You're just going to keep it on all tethers.
Guys, for that alcohol tether, it's gonna be $100 or the tether, yes, it's gonna be $100 to roll and it's $10 per day.
You, is that voice?
Yes, yeah, I'll anything.
Listen. Don't come in here and tell me what to think. Run it over. Run it over. This is something here. I can forgive mistakes. I can't forgive the sins. I cannot forgive the sins. Why? Under oath. You almost just talked yourself into going to jail. I don't know if I would have done that.
So you gotta take your hat off.
Your Honor, if he's willing to get the tether today, maybe we can put this, schedule this for a sentencing, see how he does with it. If there's any positive readings, the court take that into consideration. Have him increase his AA appearances as well.
Doesn't see what anything supposed to do. This section of February 5. You got 7 counts. When he pled guilty, when he was found guilty back on February 27th. Can you tell me what that was for? And I'm talking about probation violation.
So that was for testing positive at DNA center for,
Oh, yeah, the artificial innocence.
yes.
Listen. Section, you give somebody else a job, how much you make?
$36,000.
Oh, but here's the point. I might go over there. And you come in with these stories. And again, you're looking at me like I can't add 19 and 6 without a calculator. Going to rate this. I mean, maybe maybe you can go talk to a kindergarten class and you can convince them. I don't know what to tell you. The more I hear on this, the worse it's got. Well, did you clear all of your warrants? You're supposed to do that by March. Did you do that?
No, I mean, I didn't have.
You know what? I think I should just come over there and you can come with the robe on and you can make your own decisions here. Are you in treatment?
Yes, sir.
It's not helping. What's the strange thing? I'm still also.
That's right.
Shame on me for not sending you to jail for trying to fraud the testing facility. Realize you just committed perjury? I don't want you to answer that. I want you to answer. Do you realize you just committed perjury? I don't want you to answer that. You just committed perjury. Your pay additional cost $50. You're to be on a screen tether for state following release from jail. You're to test weekly for 3 months, then bi-weekly. What am I missing? Am I missing anything?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
You're to serve 7 days jail starting right now. 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court appointed.
Your Honor, would you consider letting him serve the weekend, next weekend, so he doesn't lose the job, please?
I don't have anything to do with where they sent him. Brownstown doesn't take weekends. I can't do it.
Brownstown doesn't take weekend prisoners.
Lisa, would Brownstown send him to Flat Rock by chance?
They might. I can double check if you want.
Why don't you check and let me know?
Okay, give me a second.
Your Honor, I know we've made similar weekend big jail
Now, listen,
arrangements before.
honestly, I should give him an answer. Don't push him. The guy he's a liar. Don't push him. Have a seat over there and I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't know that I'm even inclined to let you do weekends even if I can.
We appreciate the court's consideration. Thank you.
Michael Richard Clark Jr., 25F243395. Recalling Marcus Talaparo, Lovett Fuller, 24B146740A.
Michael A. Carmen, P7384, on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
Friday's Easter. I'm gonna let you serve between now and 1 PM. I'll let you out at 1 PM on Sunday. And then you're going to serve between next weekend at Flat Rock, 7 AM on Friday until 10 PM on Sunday. It's the best I'm gonna do.
Your Honor, that is most fair. We appreciate it very much.
All right, you understand what I'm telling you?
Sir.
If you miss 93 days and you lie to me again, you will never get this kind of a break from me. Good luck.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Ah, well, there you go. That was a fun addition, and it was right in line with my Washington clip. We had someone try to BS Judge Washington about their drinking, and then we had someone try to BS Judge Dead. It didn't work out either way. It didn't work out either way. I mean, he let him go to work, but he's still got some time to serve. Good times. Thanks for coming out. I thought that was a quickie, and then it turned into a longer stream, but it was fun. I'll see y'all soon.